All right, Jeff Lambert here, No Mess Roofing and Gutters, Roof Rejuvenation. Save your roof, save your money. It is the 9th of November and we're doing a roof rejuvenation. I've talked about it on the other videos. We're in the process of doing it. And let me turn this around. There we go. Let me see if I can zoom in. There we go. We've got Pablo up there spraying the roof. And we have Eric holding, adjusting the hose and holding Pablo's harness rope just for safety measures. I can't talk today. And then of course we have Jose at the bottom, just kind of rinsing things off if there's any overspray or anything like that. Gotten this section of the roof done, and we are going to pop over to the next section. I apologize, sorry to be lagging on my communication with you here. I'm just kind of looking around as I point this out to you because it's a small street, lots of traffic's coming through. So what we're basically doing is spraying a greener shingle product on here. It's a roof rejuvenation product. This is a 16-year-old home, 16-year-old roof, and the roof was in good shape. There was a few things that needed to be addressed before the treatment. We took care of that, and then came out today. We did that yesterday, came out today to do the treatment. It should go pretty quick on this. Still have some post work that we'll have to do, but the spray itself should only take about an hour to get the whole roof covered. It's not an extremely large home at all, and aside from it just being steep, that's really the only degree of difficulty. It's the black algae that's on the back, that's a little slippery, but it's going to be dry by the time we get over there. Again, I'm just kind of showing this to you as we go along. It's going to get a little louder. I apologize. Our King sprayer in the back of our van is going. It's constantly circulating the product, so you're getting the very best application on there, so you don't have to have a guy sitting in there with paddleboard spinning the product. We are constantly circulating that product with the King sprayer, and it's a great machine. There you go. That's what it looks like. Try to get a little closer. Take it out. As you see, as Pablo is spraying, some mist will come down, so we just want to capture it. It's already somewhat of a diluted mist, but nonetheless it won't harm the bushes. That's why we don't even have to cover them when we're doing a rejuvenation treatment, but we still want to further saturate it when it comes down to the ground or on top of the bushes, and we just rinse everything off. Yeah, it's a nice coating on there. It's being applied. It's going to glue the granulars, which is the protective coating or layer for your asphalt shingles. It helps protect against those damaging UV rays. So when your when your roof is shedding those granulars at an excessive rate, that is the protective layer of the shingles. And that also means that the asphalt oils are becoming depleted in the shingles, and it's just going to further expedite the wear and tear of the roof shingles itself, especially with black algae. When you have black algae on your roof, it is zapping those asphalt oils because it's absorbing heat, and then the shingle grit, granulars, sand, whatever you want to call it, starts to shed excessively. And it really starts to damage the integrity of the shingles and speeds up the lifespan of that. That's why our shingles aren't lasting 30 years anymore. As you can see, he's using a spray cutter right there, so we don't have to spray it on the siding. Makes things easier for us. We started doing that around the accessory items like the vents, because even though the chemical, it actually has like a lemony scent to it. When it's drying, it could be a little bit pungent, so to speak. And if if we have vents up there, sometimes you'll have a very faint smell of that. It definitely goes away rather quickly, but you'll still will have that. So we take that cutter and put it all around the vents, so none of that is misting inside and being sucked in, let's say, into the attic. Again, another thing, something that we do versus what other companies would do, spraying companies where they just get up there and spray everything. They'll literally spray your HVAC pipes, your plumbing pipes, your four-way vents, your air hawk vents, and then they're walking away and people are smelling this chemical inside their home, and it just shouldn't be that way. Now, I can't say that you won't have a faint odor, because again, you have vents all over your roof and you're spraying, it's an all-natural soybean oil on there, but you may have a tangent of a faint smell, and then after a while it will just completely disappear. And we thought about adding like a cherry blossom or a bubble gum or a surfactant to the chemical. So when you use a surfactant, it's a soap, and we typically use that when we're soft washing a home. Now this isn't soft washing, this is a rejuvenation treatment. So when we soft wash the home, we don't want that sodium hypochlorite just to run off like water. It is going to be a diluted sodium hypochlorite, but nonetheless, it still will run right down the shingle, especially if the shingles are super hard. So you got to add a surfactant to it, which allows that to cling to the shingles and has a nice working dwell time on there. So it helps to keep the chemical on the shingles longer. And then again, it has a nice smell to it, depending on the individual, what smells they like. I think just, go with the citrus or lemon, which is what greener shingle kind of smells like. The bubble gum and the cherry blossom, that's just, individual taste. But I don't know if I want to add the surfactant to the greener shingle product until I can see how the chemical reaction goes to that. And it takes a little time before you just start doing stuff like that and putting it on the home. You never want to experiment, so to speak, on a home when it comes to stuff like this. So what we do is we cut off the vents, so to speak. We put a cutter right there so we're not spraying into the vent. We cover it, and that seems to be the main thing that works for us. Well, like I said, other companies, they're just not even acknowledging it. And I think, when you're doing something on someone's roof, you should explain everything to them. Hey, you're going to have a pungent smell for a little bit, and then that'll go away, and you won't have to worry about it at all. It's not a nauseating smell at all. But again, that's only if you're not taking care of the application of the spray. You want to turn around and use, let me turn this around, it's doing it right now. You want to turn around and use a cutter, like he is. Boom, puts it right in the back and then sprays it. So we're not spraying and misting where it's going inside the pipe. Now it goes out through your plumbing, you don't have to worry about it. That's a plumbing vent pipe, but nonetheless. And then you have that air hawk vent that's a little bit more low profile up where Eric is holding the harness and the hose. And again, we cut that off and then spray. All right, we got our liners down, so any of the chemical that's dripping down, because that'll happen especially on colder roofs or roofs that have harder shingles. They're not as pliable, which is why you're putting the product down. And we just want to contain it, capture it, control it, and then turn around and disperse it, get rid of it in the proper manner for the channels that we do, which is we just put it into another bucket and dispose of it properly. But that's what we're looking at right now. Pablo's going to come down and spray this area. It's real simple. So we got Jose just for the misting part, just going to, further make sure that when it's misting like that, the water will hit it and it will just make it fall straight to the ground. Again, it's really not necessary to do all of that. We do it for our own peace of mind And in my opinion, it's also a nice visual tool showing all of the other homeowners how careful we are with an individual's home as well as their neighbor's property. So we always go the extra mile to make sure that everything is taken care of. And that's, in my opinion, just the proper way of handling things. So I'm going to turn around and turn this off until they get over to the back area. I'm just going to stop it, and then I'll restart it again when they get over there. All right.